Hello, friends.
Hi.
Hi. Long time no chat.
I know.
How is everybody?
We're so excited to be here. If we have not previously met before, I'm Abigail.
And I'm Emily.
And we're the co-founders of Boss Project. And our mission here is to ultimately inspire, educate, and empower creative small business owners and creative consultants to build a life and a business that excels both financially and supports them soulfully. And today we are talking about the coolest thing. And this one thing truly will change the whole trajectory of your business in 2022. So you definitely need to be paying attention.
I was thinking about kind of how I would describe, like, sum up the thing that we're about to announce that you guys might have already heard if you've been like in our inbox or Instagram. And I was like, okay, how truly epic is this thing? And I was sitting there thinking about the conversations that we're going to be having, the topics that are being presented, and just like the honestly, the like complete flip of the script that's going on in so many business owners' heads. And I'm like, okay, no, truly attending this event and participating in these conversations, if you allow it to be, can absolutely change the entire trajectory of your entire business this year and beyond. Like, truthfully.
She's not exaggerating.
No,
she's not.
I'm already seeing it happen with our clients. And this is like, for the first time ever, a way that you can get a little bit more of a taste of what we do, the magic that happens inside our program with our clients, for like a really easy buy-in, right? Just a day of commitment, a low price ticket, some time hanging out, and allowing yourself to really like be open up to what are some alternatives to how I want to reach my goals.
Yeah. So there's this shift happening in the premium service provider industry. Those of you who are industry experts and business consultants. And we talked about how we were reaching an end of an era. And if you haven't caught that podcast where we talked about like
so good
the end of the girl boss era, I definitely recommend you listen to that.
I'm done hustling my face off for no reason.
I know. And so what we're talking about is this shift it's already happening. You're in the middle of it, and we want you to be paying attention to it because truly it's going to really change the trajectory of where we're going. And we're seeing it everywhere, and it's going to impact how you work with people. It's going to impact what you charge. It's going to impact how you ultimately grow your team and everything.
The systems that you use, the culture and ethics of your company, big or small, the time that you spend with your clients, with your family, and in your business, and also just like the confidence, honestly, that happens when you're truly able to sit in the owner seat, the CEO seat. Because right now I know that so many of you, like, you're really good at what you do. You should be really proud of that. You've cultivated an amazing skill set, and you've been delivering it and impacting lives and really diving into a lot of areas that you didn't know how to do. You didn't just wake up knowing how to be a business owner, and yet you figured out so much. But I bet, because I've been in your shoes, that you're like sitting there being like, okay, I have figured out so much, and I have done a really good job. Good job, self, right? And it still feels like every single client, every single dollar, I'm like fighting for tooth and nail.
Yeah.
It seems like every time I take a step forward, I slide 3 steps back. It feels like I can't look ahead and think of this thing that I'm building as being sustainable and being around for longer than what I'm doing right here, right now, today.
Yeah.
And it's that weird, icky, like wall, that feeling that we're hitting when we know something needs to change, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And we want to just open you up to an invitation, an option of what those changes could be.
Yeah. Before we get to that invitation, I want you to know that we want to know you. Okay. That's really important.
That's the point.
And so our goal is to get to know more about you and your service and what you're working towards. If you would drop in the chat, what you do for a living, what your 12-month goal is. I'd love to see financials, but whatever you want to share is up to you. And I'd love your Instagram handle so we can reach back out to you personally. I would love to have a follow-up conversation with you, and really get an opportunity to dive into what it is that you do. Because ultimately, we created, and we're so excited to be announcing that we will be holding a 1-day virtual conference that's here to give you the inspiration, tools, and education you ultimately need to take part in this epic shift that's happening in the online business world. We want to give you a ticket into how this actually works.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to miss this opportunity. So we popped in the link on the screen, and our team will pop it in the chat as well. But we'd love for you to grab a ticket, and we're going to be diving into the why and what you're ultimately going to see out of the event.
I want to spend a little minute on sending us a DM, because I know that people say this, but they're like, send us a DM, slide into my DM, say hey. But I want you to know that not only like the Boss Project team, but a specific, amazing, incredible human is dedicated to holding space for what you're sharing inside our DMs and having actual authentic conversations with you. They are not direct sales pitches to go lead into this product and go buy this thing. It is truly a space of, where are you at now? Where do you want to be? And let us lay out some options that we see that maybe you don't, that you could take in order to get there. And we invite you to try them on for size, see a reality of what a reality could look like by choosing that path, because you all know there are a million different paths to success. We are not going to sit here and be like, pick ours or it won't work. But ours is pretty fun. And ours is a space of alignment and light and ease, and really honors the creative space that's needed for the way that we do work. And if that is interesting to you, I really encourage you to go say hey in our DMs, say hey to Abby, say hey to me, say hey to Katie, and just introduce yourself. And if you can be vulnerable with us, we will be vulnerable and authentic right back to you. And we have a plethora of resources, no matter where you're at in your business journey, that we can send you and invite you to. And ultimately, it's up to you on which one you decide to take advantage of.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I want to talk about why we ultimately created this conference, to talk about this shift, to let you in on what we're seeing, because it really came down to one big, epic, impactful reason.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we believe more women and femmes deserve to step into this expert level status and become niche industry experts and service providers, and have the financial stability to ultimately live life first, to create a legacy for themselves and build something.
Whatever that means to you.
Exactly. Exactly. We are not a one size fits all business at all. And we really pride ourselves in looking at the individual nuances of how people operate and what's important to them, and how can we design a business around that, instead of always forcing, a square peg into a round hole. And so we don't think there's one right or wrong way to get there, but we do think there's a great way to honor your priorities and honor yourself along the path. And that's what people aren't talking about. They're not talking about what it looks like to build a business around your health, or build a business around your family or your children's needs, or your goals or how you want to work. People are talking about how to make more money, and that's definitely a part of this, but we want you to make more money that's in alignment with the lifestyle that you want.
That's an effect of implementing the framework, but it's not the purpose of the framework. And I think if we reshift of what our actual priorities are, and we've talked about this on Instagram a couple times, but it's, to me, truly the conversations that are happening, on our podcast here within our client community, and ultimately in this conference on March 29th, is really the how-to and the answer behind how do I live a business life first? And how do I truly begin to reprioritize what's going on in my life? Because the last 2 years have taught us a lot. And I think people have come out of the woodworks and finally lifted their head out of the sand and really recognized, what am I actually spending the majority of my time doing? What do I want to be doing? What do I actually enjoy? Who am I as a whole person outside of the things that make me money, or that are my job, or that I'm creating? And I still find joy in those things like work and serving clients and impacting others. So how can I begin to marry those two in a more authentic way? And I think the desire has been there for years. The conversation has been starting for the last couple of years, but the actual how isn't being talked about.
That's the thing. I think ultimately we've been in this pandemic. We've all lived it and experienced it, and it has dramatically changed our perspective on what's important to us.
Yeah.
And now we're sitting in this knowledge, and I see so many people stuck because they're tired of the old way. They're tired of the way that didn't honor who they were, or are. And they see that they need to change. They see that they need to shift. And my concern is that so many are really conscious of these new priorities, that I see more people giving up and starting over than I see pivoting in a way that really honors what these priorities look like.
Yeah. Well, going back to what I said earlier, if you know something needs to change, but you don't know what it is. And typically when we're in that space, when we know something needs to change, but we don't know what it is, we try on a bunch of things to see if that change is what we need to do. And I love that. Like, I love that. Experimenting is so fun. You never know truly what's going to feel good until sometimes you just have to try them. And I also think that there are choices that are being made, like pivoting to a different audience or changing the price of your offer or wanting to talk to more people or whatever it might be, that you still feel off about, but you feel like you have to do because that's what's worked for so many other people, or that's the only thing that's going to give you the financial goals that you're after, or the elusive passive income. And we talked about this a lot on our podcast of like the make money while you sleep, and how that's not as easy as people make it out to seem. And yet so many people are still conditioned to like, okay, well, if I want to work less and make more, then I need to speak to more people, have a lower price product, grow my list, grow my audience, grow my awareness, hope to go viral, push out more content. And it's a lot. It's just a lot. And I'm telling you that with a couple of simple pivots, which we will literally talk about and outline inside this conference on March 29th, it comes down to just a few simple levers in your business that you can pull at will. Like, and you can pull this one today and in a quarter change a different one. Like, it's not set in stone and committed to forever. You have options, and you have a way to customize your business throughout the seasons of your life as you see fit.
Yeah. So let's talk about what these sessions look like on March 29th. So when you grab your ticket, you're going to get access to this one-day virtual event. We are running this event completely live. Mm-hmm. And so you'll have the opportunity to not only be in the room with us and our team and our incredible clients, but you'll have the opportunity to meet and mingle with all attendees. We are doing this in a way where you're going to see the actual faces and names of everyone who's there
without having to travel anywhere or put on pants.
I know.
Dream scenario.
Oh, it's the best. You guys pretty much have decided you don't want to go anywhere anymore. So
maybe put on a shirt, because you can turn on your video if you want to. But like,
I recommend a shirt, but pajama bottoms are totally required. Okay. I want you to be comfy.
We'll be business on top and party on the bottom.
Yeah.
All right.
Comfy cozy. All right. And in these sessions, we're going to be diving into some things that are really going to get you thinking differently. And the first one, we're going to be talking about what this new era looks like. And we're calling it the freedom era for a reason. And we are so pumped to be talking about what that means for you and your industry, and how to position yourself for success while this shift is naturally happening. Because this shift is not something we're creating. Okay. No. This new era that we're going into is not the byproduct of something Emily and I have done. We're literally just riding the tidal wave with you, and we want to watch you and help you become aware of what's happening around you and allow yourself to position yourself for success. In the same way, I'm literally listening to a book right now about how Netflix got started. And what's mind-boggling to me is it started in 1997. Like, that doesn't even compute. Okay, in 1997, they were talking about shipping VHS tapes. And they ultimately started with DVDs. Okay. But the Netflix you know today is obviously not shipping DVDs around the
Mhm.
world. But what they did is they took advantage of a digital shift in media.
Mhm.
And they were at the forefront of us going from literally walking into Blockbuster and checking out a movie
Mhm.
to people are doing this online. They were right after Amazon started doing this with books. Okay. So now what we're talking about is a new shift. What you don't realize is no one is talking about it. And so
Mhm.
we're giving you the inside scoop
Mhm.
on what this shift looks like and how you can be taking advantage of
Yep.
it in the same way that Netflix was really early to the
Yeah.
show. Okay.
Because the shift isn't just for you and how
No,
you run your business.
no,
It's also how you serve your clients and the way
absolutely.
that you impact people.
Yes.
And the shift honestly started with the demand from clients. They've been speaking up for years about needing a new way of being served,
Ooh,
and people haven't been listening.
no, they
And so
haven't been.
there's a huge gap right now, a huge opportunity that you can take advantage of literally by just like boop, boop, a couple little tweaks and showing up in a different way. And it not only feels good to you, it makes you more money, but it makes your clients happier and gives them better results.
Oh, yes. I want you to have better results and I want you to be aware of what's going on around you. So we're going to be talking stats, we're going to be talking about industry numbers. You're going to see the real deal. And then we're going to be diving into what it looks like to increase client contracts. We're going to be interviewing a client of ours who literally did this. She increased her client contracts by $60,000, 60K in 6 weeks without a single new lead.
It's like every piece of that result is amazing. Like the number is amazing, the time frame is amazing, and the type of leads are amazing. So just pick one of those.
I know.
Which one is the most
so
exciting
incredible.
for you?
Well, and here's the thing. Ultimately, a lot of this comes down to how are you positioning yourself to the clients you already have today? We have lots of thoughts about how you can pivot even a little bit with the people you're currently working with and radically change things. I'll give you a sneak peek. Bonnie has nearly doubled her business in less than 3 months because of this single shift. And so
that we literally handhold walk you through how to set up in your business. So
it's so good.
I'm just so excited.
I can't wait to share more about all the details. But this is why we have a whole day. Like I literally can't go into all the details because
we'll be talking for a while.
All right. Yeah. So the next one, this is the one that I think will surprise you because, there's a lot of thoughts about pricing online right now, most of which are radically one way or the other. You either need to charge.
And my thoughts on pricing have gotten me literally blocked by people on Instagram before. So you best believe I'm bringing the heat in this panel.
I understand. Okay, so we're going to be talking about what every business consultant needs to know about premium pricing strategies in 2022. And it's not what you think because, everyone else is telling you either to create a high ticket something or other, or to ultimately have a really low priced, low hanging fruit opportunity. And I just really think there are very, 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 very specific things you need to be looking at to the point of I literally have built a calculator to help you figure this shit out because it's so important to me that your pricing is in alignment with your actual needs. Yep. And this is not a one size fits all approach. And we are bringing in clients who are doing this all very different ways because they're living very different lives and running different businesses. Yep. And we want to expose you to how creating pricing that's in alignment with your individualized goals is a radical game changer.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you serve clients on retainer and you're worried that your price is so low, but they're on retainer, and how does that work to actually reach your goals? It doesn't matter if you have one and done projects, like you're in and out and you're never going to see that company or business ever again. Or if you have like repeat one and dones where like they buy it and then they might buy something else a little bit later and they buy something else a little bit later. It's different for everyone. And we walk you through just the pivots that you need to make and the easy tweaks you need to make whatever model works for you. And some of you have a combined model, and there's ways to go about doing that too. It's a little bit of math, but we make math sexy and fun. So you should definitely still come.
Absolutely. Okay. So the last last session of the day, so to speak, we are going to be talking about the culture in your company. And here's the thing, y'all have the best intentions. I love you guys for your heart, for your willingness to see other people as humans, for you to go radically against everything you experienced probably previously in your corporate culture or environment that you worked in before starting your own business. But in an effort to create a safe space, you are ultimately picking up some toxic behaviors that I am very concerned about. There are literal red flags happening behind the scenes inside your own business, and you're blind to them. And we want to bring some of them to your attention so that you can tackle them head on and really honor the fact that you want to treat people like humans, that you want to build a safe environment, that you want to create a team where people feel like they're a part of something. And it's really important to us. And so we're going to be walking through what those looks like. This is going to be great if you are just getting started on building a team, or maybe you have a small team between 2 and 10 people. I think this will be really helpful for you if you're considering pivoting from VA type assistants to employees, and what does that look like?
We also talk about the toxic behaviors that you're allowing with clients and how to really create systems around that too, because that's where it starts. And I think there's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, we talk about it with our clients. We've done these things too, where you go out and you try a technique and you try a boundary or you try a way of communication, and it feels still out of alignment for some reason. And it's because it's having a domino effect on other areas in your business that you're not realizing, you're not making that connection to. But it's okay if you've done those things. It's okay if you've done literally any of the things that we're talking about today of like, hey, can we pivot? Can we change to this? I really encourage you, not just in our conference and the conversations that we talk about, but literally when anyone says anything about business or mindset or life or whatever, really like sit with the message and use it as an invitation to get your brain to just think about something in a different way. And you can attend that conversation. You can participate in that dialogue. You can take what feels good and works for you and leave what doesn't. Not everything that comes out of our mouths is going to be absolutely perfect for you. We're humans. We have our own perspective and our own businesses, but we've also been seeing this framework lay out for so many different industry experts, B2B service providers, and consultants that we know it's too impactful to keep quiet about. And that's why we're hosting this event.
Yes. So if you're curious if this event is for you, I definitely encourage you to go ahead and reach out to us. If you go to Boss Project on Instagram, send us a DM, and myself, Katie, Jared, or another member of our team will reach back out to you and get a little bit more information about what it is that you do and what it is that you're looking for in the next year. And do we think we can help you?
Yeah.
Because it's important to us that it's worth your time and effort to be there. And so we are here to help you make that decision. But let's talk about who this is for. And I think some of you, this will clear that up a bit of, does this apply to me? I'm not totally sure. Let's talk about that.
Well, and I'm going to run through the list. And if you identify as any of these people, that's at least enough invitation for you to just go say, hey, in the DMs, truly, because then we can ask a couple clarifying questions to really filter out where you're at right now and what your goals are to really see if working with us is the right fit. But we're specifically talking to, and the conversations are geared towards B2B service providers, so business to business, industry experts. So like you are an expert in a niche, a very specific type of way of working with people, category conversation, right? Consultants, so business consultants in a variety of different categories,
departments.
In departments, if you identify as hashtag book to the brim, that's a phrase we've been using in this conversation of you don't really have the problem landing the clients. You might actually be sending some away, but you're like, you still feel that scarcity of like, okay, but where is my next one's going to be? But I have a lot, and I'm turning some away, but also I feel like I need more. If you're in that like weird cycle, and if you're seeking an ethical way to not only grow your profits, but also get more of your time back, then if any of those apply to you, literally head over to Instagram right now at Boss Project, say, hey, I just watched the live and let's have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to hear more about what it is that you do, what it is that you're looking for. And ultimately, we want to give you an opportunity to get a behind the scenes look at what's really working for people in this industry, for
Right
service
now.
providers, for consultants, for industry experts,
Yeah.
for people who are walking hand in hand with other businesses. And I would love the opportunity to chat with you about what that looks like, because this is really the peek behind the curtain that you don't often get, because what is true about this industry, most service providers are so busy doing their service, not very many people are talking about how to optimize it because they're so busy doing the thing.
Yeah.
And so we want to give you that peek behind the curtain. We've worked with over 10,000 different small business owners, and have had the opportunity to get the behind the scenes look at what's working for them, what's not, what are their hangups, where are they shining, what happens if they polish this area up, what are the results of that, what happens if they make this tweak or pull this lever. It's been so cool.
And because of that, our superpower is the ability to, once you be vulnerable and share with us, we have a crystal ball that we can look into, and we know what your future could look like if you continue doing what you're doing, if you pivot to the thing that you think you need to pivot to, or if you make these tweaks over here. And none of those options are inherently bad. They're all neutral. They all just also have their own set of consequences, good and bad. And we want to make sure that you're checking in with the consequences that come from the decisions we make in our business. I don't want you to continue to spend time, energy, money, resources for months and for years growing a business that all of a sudden you wake up one day and you don't like. And I've done that. I've made that mistake before. So I don't want that same thing for you. And so if you can get someone who can see the future a little bit and say, hey, this is a potential obstacle that's heading your way, or this is the outcome of the decisions that you're outlining for me, how does that feel? How good is that going to be to have someone in the passenger seat with you?
I like to drive, but like, that's a story for
I hate driving. I'm the best passenger person because I'm also not a backseat driver. I just like sit and support you, and like I get the tunes ready. I've got snacks for you.
He's a good snack.
I'm here.
Snack buddy. A tunage on point for sure. Okay, now here's the one that I definitely don't see people saying, because they're afraid to admit it. They're afraid to say it out loud. They're afraid to let other people in on it. This isn't all about growth.
No.
This isn't all about making way more money and scaling your business. If you want to do those things, we definitely have tools for you. But also,
and again, it's a side effect and consequence of some of the framework. Right?
More than likely you will grow, you will make more money. Okay. That's the likelihood is there. But also, if you have this like intense internal desire to just do less and to like take a deep breath every now and again and not work quite as hard, then we should chat, because I think there's so much impact available to you when you not only decide to do less yourself, but when you decide to work with less people on purpose so you can create a bigger impact with those people.
And trust us, our answer to that isn't outsourcing everything that you hate and not doing anything in your business.
No,
it's if not you think that's going to be the solution we're going to say, then you should come and hear what it is.
It's not passing the buck at all. I'm strong opinions about that for sure.
We're strong opinions about a lot of things.
Now, this one has been one that it's been interesting to watch unfold, because we've had a lot of people come to us and say, you know what, I'm thinking about pivoting. I've been running this service-based business for a while. I've been consulting for a while. I've been working B2B for a while. And I'm wondering I'm interested in more passive income. I'm interested in making more, but like not being so involved all the time. So like all the intentions and all the reasons are there, right?
Yeah.
But they're thinking about pivoting from where they are to one to many, or like adding one to many as like an aspect of what they do, but not all of what they do.
Then like hopefully upsell their service that they're offering right now.
Right. Yeah. Before you do that, please come.
Yep. It might still be right for you and the way that you want to run your business and the goals that you ultimately have. Come and have an invitation to like see a different alternative of what a different reality could look like.
Yeah. And if you want to talk about more about what that looks like, please send us a DM. We have some great podcasts that I think would really resonate with you.
Yep.
Talk about the pros and cons because we've done all of the above. Okay. Yep. We've been one-on-one service providers providing high-end marketing and design materials for local small businesses. We did that for years. We in both the photography space, website design, graphic design, we've done that. We've also built a one-to-many business and seen all the pros and cons and everything in between. And so I encourage you, from someone who has over a decade of experience in this area, running both sides, seeing the pros and cons of both sides, like listen to us before you make a decision.
Yep. So are you grabbing your ticket? Have you grabbed it? It's $47 for this epic one-day event. I'm telling you, the sessions are going to be life-changing. It's one day for you to block off your calendar, reschedule a meeting, put CEO time on the whole day, and commit to investing in yourself, trying on new thought processes for size, getting a quick reframe into where we're at in business right now. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you are hitting the ceiling, both in time and money, and want to get past that and not sure how, if you're desiring something different and not sure how to get there, I encourage you to see if what we have to offer feels right for you and for your goals and for where your business is at right now.
Yeah. So let's chat and go grab your ticket. bossproject.com/attend. It's $47. We're going to be there a whole day. We're going to really dive into these things. We do have a couple of really cool golden nuggets for you to be working through and working on in advance. So we have some pre-conference videos for you to watch. I can't wait for you to dive into those. So definitely grab that ticket, send us a DM. We want to continue chatting with you and we will see you there, right?
Yes, we'll see you there. And go DM us as soon as you grab your ticket and say, I have my ticket, I'm in.
Okay. All right. See ya.